The Constitution of India is unique in its contents and spirit because it is inspired and borrowed some of the features from almost every constitution of the world that distinguished it from the constitution of other countries. Many people criticize that Indian constitution is a bag of borrowings or is a more paper and scissor work. It is worth knowing that it has borrowed features from drafted according to the historical perspective of India, geographical diversity of India, and cultural and traditional characteristics of India. The chairman of drafting committee, Dr. Ambedkar, had said in this regard that as to the accusation that the draft constitution has reproduced a good part of the provisions of the Government of India Act 1935, I make no apologies. There is nothing to be ashamed of in borrowing. It involves no plagiarism. Nobody holds any patent rights in the fundamental ideas of a constitution. The sources of various features in Indian constitution are as follows. Borrowed features from the Government of India Act of 1935. Federal scheme. Office of Governor. Judiciary. Public Service Commissions, emergency provisions, administrative details. Borrowed features from the Constitution of the Britain, parliamentary government, rule of law, legislative procedure, single citizenship, cabinet system, prerogative writs, parliamentary privileges, bicameralism. Borrowed features from the Constitution of the Ireland, directive principles of state policy, nomination of members to Rajya Sabha, method of election of president. Borrowed features from the Constitution of United States of America, impeachment of the president, functions of president and vice president, removal of Supreme Court and High Court judges, fundamental rights, judicial review, independence of judiciary, preamble of the Constitution. Borrowed features from Constitution of the Canada, federation with a strong centre, vesting of residuary powers in the centre, appointment of state governors by the centre, advisory jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Borrowed features from the Constitution of the Australia, concurrent list, freedom of trade, commerce and intercourse, joint sitting of the two houses of Parliament. Borrowed features from the Constitution of the USSR, now Russia, fundamental duties, the ideal of justice, social, economic and political Russia, in the preamble. Borrowed features from the Constitution of the France, the ideals of republic in the preamble, the ideals of liberty in the preamble, the ideals of equality in the preamble, the ideals of fraternity in the preamble. Borrowed features from the Weimar Constitution of the Germany, suspension of fundamental rights during emergency. Borrowed features from the South African Constitution, procedure for amendment of the Constitution, election of members of Rajya Sabha. Borrowed features from the Constitution of the Japan, concept of procedure established by law.